Hello there, I'm Tabletop Toby. Today we have another unboxing. Exciting, huh? Today it's gonna be, well, let's look and see what it's gonna be. I say that as if I don't know what's in this box. Obviously it's 3 Ring Circus and we all know that from the title. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what's in here. This is a worker placement game and you are competing circuses, and Barnum Bailey's apparently in the picture and stirring up trouble as well. We'll get into all that when we do a gameplay and how to play later on. See, if I can not knock over the lamp there. It's a pretty small box. Paxton is, of course, my safety officer, so he's reviewed all of our protocols around doing this. The artwork is really lovely. You can see there, it kind of goes for an old-timey circus look. And I think what's really cool is apparently there's a notice in the instruction that they acknowledge that there have been abuses against animals in the past in circuses, and they don't want to condone that. And they, so I think it's nice that they at least acknowledge that. They don't want to glorify those parts of the prior circus world, the old-time circus world. So these look like the player pieces in the different colors. There's a little popcorn in each different color. So we'll see how those fit into the gameplay, but that's pretty adorable. There's a train car. It has B&B. I think that's the Barnum Bailey. It looks like each player has their own little train. Looks like there's some stands, kind of like the ringleader would stand on, or maybe a performer. So those are all in all the different colors. And then each color has all these different circus tents. So here you have the blue. They have a bunch of those. You put on performances in different towns. So there's kind of an area control mechanic. And we have those tents in all 4 player colors. Here's the red, yellow, and purple. All right, and I'll get these out of the way and we'll keep moving along. All right, and we have all those pieces out of the way. We'll take a closer look at those a little bit later. What else we got? We got the instruction manual. Look at that more closely later. And more instruction manuals. Oh, this is interesting. It looks like they have instruction manuals in a lot of different languages. So instead of having different printings for different countries, it's in different languages. Looks like Spanish, French, Italian. We have these cards. Looks like performers that you bring into your circus. So Paxton has authorized me to use the knife to open these, so I always check with him first. Also take a look at all of these more closely. We have some more cards here. And it looks like these show maybe different requirements, maybe contracts that you're trying to complete in the course of the game. So we shall examine these more closely here in a bit. Then we have a board. These look like these are the individual player boards. So this says it's the East Coast Circus. And then there's a second side that says the Spectacular Automaton Show. So I wonder if that's for the solo mode. There's an automaton that you can play against in the solo mode. It's another board. This one says Magic Rolling Circus. These are all bifold. And then this also has the automaton on the back, so I don't know if there's different versions or if it just allows you, if you want to play the color, you can use any of those. This is the Flying Lady Circus. Having fun and different names for the circuses than traditional thoughts, I think. And the fourth one is the Ring King Circus, and it has a clown. That's pretty funny. It almost looks like the clown has a black eye. And it looks like this is the main player board. So we'll just spread that out here a bit. Okay. So there we go. Get a look at that. We'll take a closer look here in a few minutes. Quite amazing how much they fit in that little box with the way they have these folding and stuff. It's pretty cool. Makes it almost travel size. And then finally, it looks like we have just a smidgen of Punchouts, not a lot. So I think these are overlays that you block off certain parts of the board depending on how many players there are, so that way it kind of keeps the fun compact. And it looks like they have a lot of them, so maybe you can play different parts of the board for different games, which would be kind of cool. And so, yeah, that's what's in the box. And now we will zoom in with magic and Paxton's supervisory skills and get a closer look. Alrighty, first we'll take a look at the box art. It's very whimsical, fun, has an old-timey aspect to it. I kind of am loving the art with this. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, look at this woman swinging in the circus. She looks like she's having a dazzling time. This fortune teller is a hoot. They just have this edge of comedy in the art that I really am enjoying. See, even they have a worker fixing the sign on the box. These people trying to get the circus tents back into the train. So just a lot of fun going on there. Even if you look at the sides of the box, just fun stuff hiding everywhere in there. The cannonball guy spinning plates. Alrighty, and we'll take a look at the wooden figures. This is the Barnum and Bailey train, which I believe is the timer for the game. Scoring events at certain times. These are the caravan pieces. I think you moving around the board come in all four of the colors. And then these are the pedestals. These play a role in the individual player boards. They affect how you can perform shows in different places. And then the suspense is over. These really cute popcorn pieces are in fact the score tokens. So I believe you use these on the main board along the main scoring track. And we'll take a look at the rulebook. It mimics the same art that we saw on the box. Just setting out the components, setup, working through the gameplay. Looks like it has some variants. That the Barnum caravan starts in a different place, so the game plays out kind of in a different manner. There's a 3-player variant, 2-player variant, and then there is a solo mode as well, and it gives the specific setup for that. We'll take a look at that and do a solo playthrough at some point. There's a handy dandy appendix for some of the specific performer cards that have different special abilities. And then there's also game scoring appendix. They do have a nice icon guide on the back as you're playing to help, especially as you're learning the game, I imagine. And then these are the circus tokens that you place when you perform in different cities. See, there's quite a few, so you must be able to perform a lot. Okay, and then we'll take a look at these punch boards. There's just the 3 of them, so not a lot of punching to do. Let's see. That's a very nice thickness of the cardboard. It punched right out, which is always what you want to see. Yeah, those just come out super clean. Very nice. Okay, we'll just take a little bit closer look at these. Like I said, a really nice thickness on these, and I believe these are on the right here, pieces that you use to cover parts of the board so that when you're playing less than 4 players that you can mix up the experience by going to different parts of the map, which is really cool. And then these are the city tokens. These get randomized each game. It shows you how many pedestals you have to have and the kinds of performers you have to have in each city. And so these get mixed up, I believe, so you have variety each game you play. This, they say, is the difficulty level indicator. So I guess we'll find out what that means when we dive into the game more. This is a movement token. These are artist tokens, apparently representing the 4 different artist types, and there's question marks on the back, so maybe these get mixed up and placed on the board. And last but not least, we have the Barnum tile. Some more fun art on this one. Barnum looks very judgy, but at least the clown behind him looks like he's having a good time. Some popcorn exploding out of a container there with the kind of USA colors there. All right, and then we just have the boards left. So this is the first one. This is the purple player. And this is Ring King. This is the one I was musing at earlier. Look at the art on that with the clown king. Kind of the purple eye there. See, there's different kinds of cards, it looks like. And then I think you place them here to have them in your circus, kind of on this right-hand side. And then there's the pedestal tracker where you earn pedestals with some of the different card play. And then we have the red one. I really like this one. It's really cool. The cannon with kind of the explosion out to the right. And it is the flying lady, so that is why you have the cannon on there. And she's in the cannon ready to fly out. And then otherwise the board is identical to all the others. Then we have the purple player board. This is the Magic Rolling Circus. See, the magician is round, so he does look like he could roll around in the circus. Doesn't quite look human. I don't know. It almost looks like a Humpty Dumpty with an enlarged nose. He's a magician, though, so he can change into whatever he wants, I guess. And then otherwise, these are the same as the other boards. And finally, we have the blue, which is the East Coast Circus. This one has more of a kind of water theme going with the blue. You see the wave there, and then it looks like the East Coast Circus is represented by a whale because nothing makes you think more of circuses than whales, so that's pretty funny. But he is, balancing a ball on the water from his spout, so very circusy in that regard, I guess. And then all of these player boards have the Spectacular Automaton Show on the back. And so Basically, when you do a solo game, you use one of the boards and then you turn any of these other ones over, and that becomes the solo automaton that you're fighting against. But I do like the art on that. It has kind of the gears on there representing that it's AI, so that's pretty fun. And then if we see a close-up of them as well, it kind of looks like a wooden puppet almost with the way the jaw is done. There's just a lot of fun detail with the art here. Even here, gears kind of that you don't tell are gears initially, but when you kind of look closer, they're in there. So very nice attention to the art. All right, and then we have the main board. Has kind of a map with the different cities in place: Chicago, Indianapolis, Washington, D.C., New York, and Boston, I think are the big cities. And you have smaller cities in here: Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Providence, New Haven, St. Louis, Detroit. All of those are places you can perform with your circus. And I think these are the smaller cities. And then these big ones are the cities that are more difficult to perform in, where you have to have certain types of performers to be able to perform there. And I think to a certain extent that's true in the smaller ones as well, but I think those are easier to get. See the score track around, and then places for, I'm wondering if this is maybe the market. We will find that out as we dive into it. And then it looks like this is a guide to maybe when the Barnum Bailey caravan triggers scoring. So these are money cards. These apparently are the more basic performers in the game. It has the clowns in there. Continues with the really great art. Some animal performers in there. I mean, look at it. Some llamas wearing, I don't know, is that a wreath around its neck? I'm not sure, but it certainly makes me chuckle. Oh, a magician, kind of that's a little scary. And he's doing some necromancy or something there. Looks like we have some cowboys in here. Some trick shooting going on. Horse rider. Maybe some lasso tricks. Then some concessions, a popcorn. Maybe some promotion, looks like. Train. It's like a pile of props of some sort. Time to clean the circus. Feed the animals. Looks like the ringleader. The band. Not sure what's going on there. I don't think that's her hair. I think it's a rope, but it looks like a large rope. I'm a little confused by that picture. This is the ticket deck, which has acrobats and special performers. More animals, it looks like. Plate spinner. Juggler. Tightrope walker. Some acrobatics. And now look at this. Now you know Paxton is excited that there are penguins in clown outfits in this game. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect, could it? No, it couldn't. Some seals, elephants, some other animals going on. Giraffes, tigers, hippopotamuses, so am I. Fire juggler, fire breather, the woman of strength, the man of strength, our cannonball friend from the box, cannonball lady. That's nice that they have her in there as well. And you have one of them exploding out of the cannon. These are city cards. I think these go on the board that we looked at for the large cities, and these get randomized as well for the requirements for those large cities. These are in-game scoring cards, they say. Assuming that all of these don't get scored every game, but We'll find out. And then there are 2 decks consisting of 32 cards for the solo mode, which sounds kind of great, that it maybe has that much variety in the different movements they can make. And it looks like these maybe just dictate what they're doing each turn. Some creepy robot lion and clown in there with them, and it looks a little intense. It looks like he wants to take over the world, so I guess you gotta be careful of him. And this is the other deck, Toy Monkey. Also, the monkey looks a little creepy there, but it is like one of those symbol monkey dolls, which those are inherently creepy, I feel. This just has other movements on there. So that's my unboxing of 3 Ring Circus. I'm excited to dive into this one, see exactly how it works. It looks like there's some interesting stuff with the card play and earning the ability to perform in different cities and meeting this requirement, so kind of a contract piece of it. Looks like Barnum causes scoring conditions, and those might change through different games, so maybe there's a lot of variety there. I'm excited to dive into the solo mode as well. David Turtzi, who was on Anachrony, which has one of the most amazing solo player automatons ever, with all kinds of variety, and it works with all the different expansions. It's really cool, but sometimes my brain can't handle Anachrony at the end of the day. So if there's something a little lighter that has this amazing art that's whimsical, and sometimes even a higher level of whimsical where you're like, what is going on in this picture? I can't quite tell, but it's making me laugh. And of course, Paxton approves of the art because it does include penguins wearing clown hats and collars. So Paxton definitely wants to see how this game plays. And speaking of performers, you might want to like and subscribe, because if not, then the creepy clown automaton fortune teller guy with his army of robot clowns and lions might come and get you. So I would like and subscribe if I were you. Or not. It is appreciated if you do that. It helps us out as we're getting going. So thank you for being here. And just remember, the only rule is that there are no rules. Except in board games.